How do you know I'm not a gangster or used to be a gangster? I've been
I mean,
in the
were you?
music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's filled with gangsters.
Okay, deep breath, because what's bubbling up from the Carter household is way beyond just messy drama. It's not some baseless tabloid fluff anymore. Nope, we're talking full-on cracks forming in the golden empire of Beyonce and Jay-Z. That glossy kingdom we've all watched, admired, maybe even envied, it's beginning to shake, and fast. See, for decades, their empire looked unshakable, built on silence, precision, PR magic, and flawless unity. But now, one court ruling just lit a fuse. A judge has greenlit a paternity test for Rymir Satterthwaite, the man who's been screaming into the void for years, claiming Jay-Z as his father. He says Jay had a relationship with his mom, Wanda, back in the early 90s, when she was just 16. And with that, the marble facade starts to crumble.
Felonies, I'm not crazy and none of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts. And it seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything. So, I don't want to see him go down for something that, you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
Rymir has been banging on this legal door for over 10 years, not for fame, not for clout, just to be heard, to be recognized, to find out the truth. And let's be real, this wasn't a claim whispered in some blog. Wanda filed a sworn affidavit. There were documents, legal filings, and for years, nothing but blocked paths. But now, finally, a judge said, yes, you can take that test. And you can practically feel the tension tighten in the Carter camp, because if that DNA test says Jay-Z is Rymir's father, the entire image of the Carter fairy tale might explode. And Beyonce, she could be holding the detonator?
We may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
Jay-Z's team, they're still doing the dance, delaying, dodging, deflecting, but Beyonce, she's been quiet. No Instagram captions, no red carpet smiles, not a whisper, and it's not like her silence is coming from indifference. Oh no. Word is, this silence is intentional, strategic. She's not staying out of it, she's getting ready. Insiders claim Beyonce's been playing the long game for years. And the move she might be plotting now? A memoir, a scorcher, the kind that could make Lemonade look like a friendly postcard. And the timing? It's not random. With Jay-Z tangled in legal drama, with whispers dragging him into Diddy's very dark shadows, Beyonce might be ready to tell her side, her real side, on her terms. And if this is her exit strategy, baby, she's not just walking away, she's breaking the glass, setting off alarms, and torching the blueprint on the way out. Because sources say she's already spoken to multiple law firms in New York, asking about asset protection, property shifts, trust funds. That's not stand by your man behavior. That's war prep. That's queen behavior.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time.
Remember that iconic elevator moment? Yeah, the Solange smackdown? Back then, we were told it was about private family matters. Sure. But now, it looks different. What if Solange was the only one bold enough to say out loud what Beyonce had to keep buried? What if that elevator wasn't a fight, but a warning? Because now, with this memoir talk heating up, people close to the Queen say she's not going to hold back. Not this time. She's going to name names, with dates, with receipts. We're talking about real names, real stories, real betrayal. Word is, she's going back to the early years of her marriage, the ones soaked in rumors of Jay-Z's cheating. Not just Becky with the good hair, all of it. The affairs, the behind-the-scenes deals, even the quiet money stuff buried under their billion-dollar rug.
Personal one for me. My mum was adopted. She spent decades trying to find her parents. She ended up with anxiety and depression over it. Wow. And it really impacted the whole family. And I know how.
If you've been watching her closely, Beyonce's already been laying breadcrumbs. During her Renaissance tour, it was all Beyonce, just her, glowing solo shots, Blue Ivy on stage. The vibe? Very Me and Mine, less Carter, more Knowles. And that memoir? Sources say it was intentionally delayed, not for revisions, not for polishing, but to wait, to time it perfectly with Jay-Z's mounting troubles. An entertainment lawyer spilled it off the record. That delay? Pure strategy, narrative control. Beyonce holding her story like a loaded weapon, waiting for the right moment to strike. And if she drops it while Jay-Z's name is drowning in legal mud, she doesn't just reclaim her voice, she ends the Carter story.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both.
Now toss this in the fire. Jay-Z's alleged connections to Diddy, who, by the way, is facing charges so dark we won't even list them all here. People from Diddy's inner circle are already dragging Jay-Z into the mess, including Diddy's former bodyguard, Uncle Ron. Before his sudden and suspicious death, he went on record saying Jay-Z might not be the innocent genius we all thought, that he's been right there in the middle of the shady dealings and quiet power grabs. Beyonce and Jay-Z haven't said a word, but look closely. They haven't been seen together publicly since November. No joint posts, no matching looks, no united front. Insiders say they're keeping separate calendars, separate PR teams, lawyers on speed dial. Are we witnessing the fall of hip-hop royalty, or the final act of a carefully planned high-gloss escape route, written and directed by Beyonce herself?
So what happens now is this is simply a civil complaint, and in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to...
And now, whispers of divorce. They're growing louder. People aren't asking if she'll leave anymore. They're asking when. If Beyonce's memoir drops in the middle of Jay-Z's paternity test scandal, while his name is floating in the Diddy mess, she won't just be telling her story. She'll be writing the final chapter of theirs. Or maybe, just maybe, it's already written, and we're just waiting for the world to read it. Because as Jay-Z's empire begins to tremble, it's time to take a harder look at the other half of this power couple. Beyonce, the goddess of control and perfection. But lately, the gloss is cracking. And what's underneath? It's not all diamonds and champagne.
And that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors. And if true, right, you could pursue it criminally.
We've been fed this story for years. Beyonce, the invincible woman, the graceful wife who turned heartbreak into art, who stood strong, who forgave. But now, online sleuths are digging deeper, and the picture they're painting is darker. Because Beyonce wasn't just standing next to Jay-Z while he ruled the industry. She stood beside Diddy too, and Diddy's house of cards is collapsing.
Jay-Z, over the course of his career, and I have to still say allegedly, has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to.
With respect to the evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right? More than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who...
And now the internet is asking what no one dared before. How much did Beyonce really know? Could she have ignored the red flags? Or worse, did she see them and look away? Beyonce's empire is built on silence, strategy, and power. But when silence becomes your shield, who exactly are you protecting? Rumors are swirling that Beyonce didn't stay close to Diddy because of friendship. It was survival, career protection, a cold, calculated decision to not rock the boat, even as the waters got darker. And then came Uncle Ron, a name we weren't supposed to remember, but we do now. Diddy's ex-bodyguard, a man with insider access to every corner of the industry. He came out swinging in 2023. And what he said? Absolutely explosive. He claimed Beyonce wasn't the victim everyone made her out to be. In fact, he said she was part of the machine, the very one that controlled, silenced, and dominated the industry with fear. She's been on substances, he alleged, and you keep her that way. One clip, one quote. It got deleted within hours, but not before it spread like wildfire.
This is not just about me. If I gotta fight for all of us, I will, but I won't let the court systems just walk over me. I won't let Jay-Z, I won't let no one just walk over me and tell me something because y'all just saying this. I want the truth. And if we can't go to the Supreme Courts, the regular courts, to find out the truth, what are they here for?
Yeah, all right. We'll get to the legal things that you've been through, the battles. But before...
We do have some breaking news that we want to bring to you. It was being reported by TMZ and now Fox News. We are learning that Jay-Z is accused of raping a 13-year-old girl. That is new in the Diddy.
But it didn't stop there. Uncle Ron came back on social media, hinting that he knew the real reason behind Biggie Smalls' death. He accused Jay-Z and Diddy of wanting Biggie gone because he was about to leave Bad Boy. Then, barely 24 hours later, Uncle Ron was dead. Pneumonia, they said. Sudden illness. But for those paying attention, it felt all too familiar. Too many people close to this inner circle have vanished suddenly. Too many voices silenced. Just as they were starting to speak freely, and now the internet is pulling receipts, old interviews, award shows, Fan cams. Why were so many artists, big and small, thanking Beyoncé for no clear reason? Was it respect or was it fear? Because one thing is clear, Queen Bee's influence isn't just massive, it's untouchable. And here's where things get downright unsettling. Every major scandal tied to Diddy, somehow, someway, always ends up brushing up against Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Jay's connection is obvious, but Beyoncé, her role is veiled, shrouded, perfect smokescreen. But smoke means fire. Some online investigators are taking this even deeper, tracing lawsuits, affidavits, and shady deals. And they're whispering names: Aaliyah, Left Eye, Michael Jackson. Artists who challenged the system. Artists who were allegedly ready to expose the ugly truths behind the industry right before tragedy struck. No one's saying Beyoncé or Jay-Z pulled the trigger, but more and more people are starting to believe they knew more than they ever let on. So here's the bombshell question. Did Beyoncé rise to power with just her talent? Or did she also have protection? Unseen protection. Some say her brand wasn't just about art. It was a fortress, built on silence, reinforced by control. Her image, flawless. But look at the pattern. No interviews, tightly edited documentaries, zero room for vulnerability. Is that just perfectionism? Or is it something colder? A shield against scrutiny. And through it all, Beyoncé says nothing. No denial, no defense, not even a veiled lyric. It's as if she's daring us to ask questions, knowing no one dares speak her name with doubt. But even her most loyal stans are beginning to wonder, who have we been idolizing this whole time? Because behind the scenes, the Carter firewall wasn't built overnight. It was forged, year by year, through lawyers, contracts, backroom deals, and allegedly, manipulation. Take the Rymir Satterthwaite case, Jay-Z's alleged son. His team's been accused of pulling every trick in the book, from exploiting jurisdiction loopholes to filing shady property records, even pressuring judges to throw out cases based on technicalities, not truth. One of Jay's lawyers even admitted to misspeaking in court about where Jay-Z lived. That borders on perjury, yet no consequences, no follow-up, no sanctions, just silence. It's like the system corrected itself before anything could go public. And that's why people are asking if this isn't just about celebrity privilege. It might be institutional power, the kind that doesn't ask for favors. It expects them. If all of this is true, if Jay-Z has spent years using wealth and status to bury truth after truth, then we're not just looking at a scandal, we're staring at a legacy built on suppression. Every dropped case, every sealed document, every whisper that never made it to court becomes part of a much darker story, a story of how the system protects its favorites, and how Beyoncé may not just be a bystander in all of this. Because if she's known all along, if she's held her memoir back for the perfect moment, then we're not witnessing her revenge. We're witnessing her final move, the one she's been planning for years. So ask yourself, what if Beyoncé isn't the silent casualty in Jay-Z's downfall? What if she's the quiet architect of everything that's happening now? With Jay's world unraveling and the paternity test threatening to strip away the last layer of his polished image, Beyoncé might be getting ready to drop her biggest bomb yet, her memoir. Not just a tell-all, it might be the ultimate pivot, the final move in a chess match she's been playing for 2 decades. Because if she's known about Jay-Z's past, if she's stayed quiet during all the ugly court stuff, if she's continued to appear alongside powerful men accused of horrible things, then maybe, just maybe, she's not the queen we wanted her to be. Maybe she's something else, something more real, more flawed, more calculating. And with her memoir looming, that crown she wears, it's either about to shine brighter than ever or fall to the floor. So what happens next? Well, Jay-Z's got to face the music, the court, the test, the headlines. And Beyoncé? She holds the pen. Her next move could rewrite everything. Maybe she steps into the light with her truth. Maybe she drags the whole machine down with her. Maybe she drops names that make the internet combust. Or maybe she keeps playing the game her way, controlled, deliberate, silent, until the exact moment she knows it's time to speak. And when she does, it won't be a whisper, it'll be a roar. So now we ask, is this Beyoncé's reckoning? Or is it her grandest move yet? Could her memoir be the final nail in Jay-Z's story? Or is she just flipping the page to start a new one, with no one left standing beside her? Let's be honest, this doesn't feel like the beginning of the end. It feels like the end of something that's been over for a long time. We just didn't want to see it. But now, we can't unsee it. And the question hangs in the air like smoke from a fire we can no longer ignore. What if Beyoncé's silence was never about protection? What if it was about power? What do you think? Drop your thoughts below. Because whether this is the downfall of a dynasty, or the rise of a new queen on her own throne, one thing's for sure, the truth is coming. And when it hits, don't blink. Because you might just miss the moment the crown finally slips.